All right, hello everyone. So in the last video, we talked about the different scripts within NetSuite and the different events that these Suite scripts will be emitting and the concepts basically. So if you haven't seen that video yet, please go back and check it out because that will really help you in understanding and solidifying the concept of how Suite scripts work. So in this video, what we're going to be going over is the documentation. Why is it important and where we can find it? And then also, how do we set up our environment to be able to write scripts as soon as possible? So the first thing you want to take a look at is going to be the documentation. So if you see here this PDF provided by NetSuite, it is 482 pages. So it's a very long documentation, but you're probably not going to be going over all of this because I mean, unless you really like reading, but I really don't think that this is something that you can go over really word by word, but this is a useful thing to have in your bag. You'll always be searching in here. And SuiteScript is very large. There's a lot of different functions and a lot of different methods, a lot of different modules. What you want to do is you want to have this documentation by your side in case you ever need something. You can always come here and look at it because you don't want to remember every detail, but you want to understand the concept, and then you'll be able to reference back here whenever you need to. Hopefully within this video, we're going to be using this, and I'm going to show you where we can find this information. Now, if you are interested in reading, I would recommend reading the introduction part here. There's a lot of nice, basically the key concepts here, and they show you a lot of the information that we're going to be talking about in this series. They have the modules concept and then how these things work and how you can upload your first script. But if you don't want to read, you're going to be going over it in this series together. Okay, so one really important thing to notice is, and one of the things that we're going to be using the most within this tutorial, within this really documentation in general, is going to be the different script types, right? So if you see here SuiteScript 2.0 script types, if you click on it, it's going to actually show you all the different script types, and the PDF is really well organized. So you can click on things and they will be referencing back and forth. So for example, if we look at our where is it here, the client-side script, for example, I can click on it. It's going to take me to the client-side script section, and then I can see here all the different emits or the events that we talked about in the last video. So you have field change, line init, page init, and you have all the rest. You can click on each one of them and it's going to show you more documentation about it. Now, this might look intimidating at first, but later on you will get very familiar with this and you'll start understanding how this documentation is laid out. So for example, field change, you always know that it returns nothing. And then you can see here what different parameters the field change function really gives you out of the box, and then you can take it from there and actually start writing. In this video or in this series, we're going to be going over a few of these to give you the gist and the concept. All right. Now, the next thing you want to do to write any code is you need a code editor. I use VS Code. I think that is the best in my biased opinion, but some people like to use Sublime Text. Some people like to use Notepad++. Personally, I use VS Code the most. This is VS Code here, where if you want to download it, you can just go on Google and write VS Code download. And you can open the first one. It's code.visualstudio.com/download. Okay, so if you're on Windows, download the Windows version. If you're on Mac, or if you're on Linux, but mostly it's going to be Windows and Mac. Okay, it's a very quick and clean installation process. Download this and install it, and you should be good to go. If you have any other code editor, you can use that as well. You don't need all the functionalities of an IDE. You can use just a simple thing like Sublime Text as well, because most of the execution is going to be happening within NetSuite. It's not going to be happening within your computer. So it's a lot easier, at least to write code. All right.